What's good, YouTube? Jay Lee here. Got another Northwest podcast for you. It's going to be a good summer here in Seattle. Every few years we have a real good summer. A lot of times it's just fucking weird how Seattle is. I've noticed this since I moved here. I didn't grow up in Western Washington. I grew up in Eastern Washington. And the summers and etc. are a lot different. And the winters too are a lot different as far as the weather goes. We got real strange weather here in Western Washington. I love growing up in Eastern Washington because I love snow, and we got a lot of snow in the winter, and I love sun, and we got a lot of sun in the summer. Seattle's a bit different, man. Seattle, what it really is kind of like, I will say this, if you don't like real extreme weather, if you don't like the polarity of extreme winters and summers, then you would love Seattle because it's real kind of mild all year round. Doesn't get too cold, doesn't get too hot, but it's fucking overcast all the time. All the time it's overcast. And basically because of that, it kind of makes you depressed. It kind of makes you depressed. It really does. And it's rainy all the time as well. So it's a trip, because when you have a good summer, and it's weird too because in the summer times it's like it's weird how it happens, but it's like every 3 or 4 years you get a really cool summer. And when I say cool, I mean like awesome or great. And what makes it great is it's like I can't explain why this happens, but like I said, every 3 or 4 years, there's just a weird spring, like a really blooming spring and kind of a real warm summer. I can't explain it. It's just the weirdest phenomenon because it really only happens every 3 or 4 years. And the summers are fucking cool. Like, I don't know. And like I said, cool as in like great. And it's like, I don't know why or how, but it's just the way it is. So we're having one of those summers, so I wanted to do a drive. And it's like everything is different too. Like look how beautiful. Oh, you can't really see it because my phone video is not that great. But anyway, I'm gonna do another driving vlog today, and I'm gonna talk about Donovan Sharpe. But I just want to share with you guys a little bit about our summers here in Seattle. Of course, we got the COVID thing going on. I think people are probably gonna start getting out of the quarantine. Trump's talking about, taking the quarantine off soon. I think there's gonna be a surge in, when that happens, there's gonna be an upsurge in people who are getting the virus. Just kind of is what it is, but I hope people stay safe out there. At any rate, like I said, today I want to talk about Donovan Sharpe again, and I want to make some clarifications. On my last video on Donovan Sharpe. It's kind of interesting. The girl who was responding to him, the girl that initially made the video about his Instagram post and then he responded to, she watched the video that I did on Donovan Sharpe. I don't know how she found it. I only got like 90 subscribers, so not a lot of people watch my videos. My videos don't get a lot of view counts. I used to have 6,000 subscribers before my old channel got taken down. But even 6,000 is not that much. Anyway, man, I want to make some clarifications on what I said in my last video. I stand by everything I said. I'm not recanting or rescinding anything that I said at all. Stand by everything I said 100%, but I want to make some clarifications. Like I said, that girl did comment on my video. Like I said, I don't know how the fuck she found it, but she did comment on it. She said she agreed with some things, and I want to talk about some things that she probably agreed with and why I say those things. I want to talk about how I said Donovan Sharpe is misogynistic. I do think he's kind of misogynistic, but I don't think that he is intentionally misogynistic in the classic misogynistic way. Okay, I don't think that that's how Donovan Sharpe rolls. I don't think that's his heart or his intention to be, you know, oh, I'm the man. You know, it's hard to know, because he's a hard one to pin down, because although he's very open about himself, he also is very layered. And I do think he's a smart guy. I do think he's a very smart guy, very sharp, or else he wouldn't be successful and he wouldn't have a successful YouTube channel. But with that said, he's layered, and he's got depth to him as well. And I think there's anger there. I think the guy's probably been hurt a lot, which is a lot of us red pill guys are hurt a lot. And that's how we become red pilled in the first place, is we get hurt a lot. We get screwed over by toxic, mean, narcissistic, messed up women who hurt us. Okay? And it's not just, oh, it's your little anecdotal example. Not all women are like that. Ha ha ha. No, it's pretty much across the board. And I'm not saying every girl out there hurts every guy they're with. It's just the things that we talk about, the subjects that we talk about in the red pill manosphere, we all share. So they aren't bullshit, and they aren't anecdotal, and they aren't few and far between, and they aren't, oh, only those type of women. No. We experience these things because this is how women roll. This is female nature. This is society. That's why we take the red pill, because we realize that this is uniform. This is patterned behavior. Patterned behavior that is not uncommon. Okay. With that said, the reason why I say that is because that is how Donovan Sharpe became red-pilled. Do I think Donovan, and the reason why I'm talking about this is because this is how girls think. You know, they want to take what guys say and they want to run with it, and they want to apply labels on what guys say, and they want, oh, he's a misogynist or that. I think the way Donovan Sharpe has reacted to the red pill is somewhat misogynistic. His program is somewhat misogynistic, to break a woman down and rebuild her according to your own specifications as a man, according to your masculinity and things that he's going to teach you in his program, things like that. I think, at least in so far, like I said, I don't have the program. I haven't watched everything Donovan Sharpe has put out. I haven't heard everything he said ever, but from what I've heard and from the program that he's talking about, does kind of seem like he's misogynistic. To break a woman down and build her back up to your specifications, that's kind of fucking misogynistic. Now, I'm not for feminism. I try to make that very clear all the time. I'm not for feminism. At all, at least modern feminism, but I am for first wave feminism. Now, there's been times where I've doubted and I've said, should we really have given women the right to vote? What have they done? They voted for abortions. I would think that they mostly did that, and abortions are fucking abhorrent. Abortions are disgusting, despicable. Kill your own baby. I can't think of anything more disgusting than that. I don't think that was men's idea. I think that was women's idea. My body, my choice. Well, that's my fucking kid you're killing, lady. Okay? No, you can't kill my kid. No, I'm not going to vote for that. How that got in, I'm sure a lot of women voted it in, right? So, should we have given women the 19th? Should we have made the 19th Amendment? That's something that I've thought about quite a bit. But ultimately, I will say this. I am for human rights, and women, although fucked up, although toxic, although very mismanaged by their parents, by society with gynocentrism, I do think they're still human. as fucked up as many of them are, even the Bible says it's hard to find a quality woman. Oh, that's some beautiful roses right there. Beautiful rose bed. Let me run that back. Right in the middle of talking about fucking misogyny, and I gotta show you guys these roses. This is some beautiful shit. So this is what I'm telling you. Like every 3 or 4 years in Seattle, we just get this beautiful. You probably can't see it because it's too dark. Let me turn my brights on real quick. We get these beautiful summers. There's some beautiful houses right here. Let me tell you. Let me show you these roses real quick. Can you see? Oh, you can't really see them. It's a big ass rose bed right there. You can kind of see it, but they are red. Oh my God, I love roses. So beautiful. Okay. I think that we should have given women the right to vote. Bottom line, equality, right? I think affirmative action is too much. I think you need to earn that shit. I don't like affirmative action. I don't like its concept that you're gonna give someone a job just because of their gender or their race. No, you give someone a job because of their qualifications, and in a genuine free market, you earn that shit. That's what makes our country so great. That's what makes freedom so great, is sometimes you gotta earn it. I mean, hey, I like free shit. You know what I mean? I like it when I get free stuff, okay? Free stuff is nice. But at the same time, you know, that's really not helping your gender by, you know, giving them a handicap. Actually, it's kind of, if you really are for freedom, if you really are for women's rights and women's empowerment, you wouldn't want the free shit, because that's kind of disrespectful. That's kind of like, oh, I can't earn it on my own, right? Okay, so let me explain what I mean with Donovan Sharpe saying he's misogynistic. Okay, to rebuild a woman to your specifications and keep her in check, and you're the man, you're leading all the time. Well, although I think that can be powerful with a lot of types of women today, particularly narcissist women, particularly very hypergamous women, particularly women, I do think there's something in female nature that wants to be led by men. I do think there's something in female nature that really gets off on men being leaders and men being masculine and strong, things like that. But God darn it, I'm an idealist, and I like equality, and which is funny because a lot of red pill guys or MGTOW guys will jump off the ship right there, and they'll be like, nah, you can't, it's not, you know, women, you can't give them equality, they're not the same as men, everything's different. It's like, yeah, I know all that, I know, but idealistically speaking, hypothetically speaking, all right, bing bang boom, I don't want to rule my woman, because that is kind of misogynistic. All right, I don't want that type of relationship. Okay, and 9 times out of 10, when a woman says a man is being misogynistic, he's actually not. He's just telling the truth. The word misogynistic is thrown around like it's a slur because women use it to disqualify your argument, which your argument is usually a truthful statement about how women behave or female nature. And then they call you a misogynist for telling the truth about female nature. I don't think, actually I should rephrase that. That's not what Donovan Sharpe, or excuse me, I should rephrase that. That is not what I'm talking about with Donovan Sharpe. I agree with him telling the truth about female nature. When I say Donovan Sharpe is a misogynist, I'm not talking about him when he tells the truth about female nature, because that's why I love Donovan Sharpe, because he tells the best truths about female nature, and he speaks what's in my mind about women. That's why I applaud him and I listen to him all the time. When I say Donovan Sharpe is misogynistic, I'm talking about that program that he has. I'm talking about him, the way he treats his girlfriend. I'm talking about him acting like he's superior and king to women and things like that. Now, that's a whole nother can of worms. Do I think that men are superior to women? I don't know. It sure seems like it as far as society is concerned. We built society. We built everything here. Okay, so I would think that I'm not trying to you know, act like, oh, you know, males are superior, as if I'm for male superiority, as quote unquote. But facts are facts. We built the roads. We built society. I don't think women could have done that. Did women help? Yes. Yes, they helped. They might have worked, some of them, if they were capable, might have worked alongside of us, and they did throughout history. But they also cooked our food, and they also washed our clothes, and they also, you know, took care of us at home. And that's needed, and that's necessary, and that's great. The problem is that women don't want to be women anymore. Women don't want to do those things anymore. Women want to be men. Women want to be just like men. Why? Because feminism. Because modern feminism is brainwashing, and it tells them, oh, I could do anything a man could do. Most of you women don't want to do what men do. You don't want to work the hours that men work. You don't want to put yourself in the same scenarios that men have put themselves in. And that's why there's a disparity in the comparison between how much money men make and how much money women make. Because you don't actually put in the hours that men do. You don't actually do the work that men do. Okay? This is why the wage gap is a myth. It's been debunked because women take more time off for maternity leave. Women don't want to put in the 80-hour weeks that the guy who's building a company does. They don't want to do that. They're too busy, you know, I don't know, posting pictures on Instagram or going over their OkCupid or some bullshit or doing makeup tutorials. Men don't give a fuck about that shit. Yeah, we'll work out. You know? So, you know, I hate to get into that whole discussion, but when I say Donovan Sharpe is a misogynist as far as superiority is concerned, it's the way he's treating his girlfriend. Now, in a sense, he's got all the right in the world to do that. Why? Because he's paying her bills. Well, okay, she still works. He's probably making her pay rent because he's coming at it from a different kind of angle. Okay, I think he's probably making her pay rent because he's trying to keep her in check. Because if I understand his mindset correctly, that's what he's doing. So he's really probably not paying her whole way. He's making her go 50-50. However, I guarantee the mortgage is his. I guarantee he's the breadwinner. He makes more money than she does. I guarantee that because that's what that's the power he has over her in order to rule her and push her around. Okay? And now I will say, as an ironic point, I think a lot of women want that. This is the irony of feminism, is that on the one hand, women will say, I could do everything a man could do. And I'm tired of these misogynists and woo-woo telling me what to do, woo-woo. But then that female nature kicks in when you want a baby or you want to protect her and you want to provide her, because that's part of female nature. And your own nature really kind of betrays you as a female. Now, why do I say all that? I'm saying all that because when I call Donovan Sharpe a misogynist, I'm talking about idealistically. Idealistically, me, myself and I like equality. I like fairness, which is why I support first wave feminism. All right? That's why I support it. Because women are human. Do I like what they've done with their freedom? Fuck no. Do I like feminism now? Fuck no. Do I like second wave or third wave feminism? Fuck no. Do I agree with first wave feminism? Yes. Why? Because it's bottom line basic freedom, and that's all anyone gets. That's all men have. Men don't have privilege. I don't go to the store and get 20% off my purchase every fucking time because I'm a male or because I'm white even. There's no such thing as white male privilege. That's a bunch of bullshit. Now, as a white male, I might have less proclivity to get raped in general society. I might have less proclivity to get killed by a police officer, maybe. But what are the statistics of those things happening anyways? What's rape is like less than 3% or some shit? Very low statistics. I don't know what the statistics on black men being killed by police are, but I'm probably pretty low. Okay, so, you know, taken as a whole, a lot of the shit that feminists talk about and a lot of the shit that these liberal weirdos talk about is overblown bullshit. All right, that brings me to the second problem that I have with Donovan Sharpe that I want to clarify, and I didn't really get to touch on this a whole lot in my last video because there was a lot more to talk about. But really, I wanted to talk about his hypergamy because he is playing into hypergamy. He thinks he's ruling. He thinks he's a boss in that situation, when in reality, he's really just kind of fulfilling her hypergamy. She wants a higher life. She wants a better life. She doesn't want to... Oh, see, this is the thing. Women will talk about equality, and I'll actually agree with women on that. I'll be like, yeah, equality's cool. Let's be equal. You treat me kind, love me, and I'll treat you kind and love you. That's equality, right? But when it really comes down to it, women actually don't want equality. That's the irony. Women actually don't want equality. They want a fucking leader. They want a man who's better than them. They want a man that they can look up to. They want a man that they can always be proud of. And he's so great. No, that's part of female nature. I've lost women. I've lost girlfriends that way because I've tried to be equal, because I have a very equal sort of air about me when it comes to relationships. Women get weird when it comes to that. They don't like that shit. If you're equal on an equal plane with women, you might as well be below them, because that's how they view you. If you're treating them equally, if you're treating them fairly, they sort of put you down. You have to be above them. That's the crazy thing about all this. That's the crazy thing about dating and relationships, is you almost have to be a misogynist in a way. At least insofar as you're showing that you have more value than her. If you have equal value or lesser value to her, you're as good as poop to her. You're like dung. You're nothing. You see, and she'll get rid of you because she's always chasing the BBD, the bigger, better deal. And this is mostly female nature. So when I say Donovan Sharpe is ruling his girl, or he's playing into hypergamy by ruling his girl, what I'm saying is the reason why she agrees with it is because female nature wants a man to rule. It is a hypergamous nature. It does want men to be better than them. It does not want men who are equal or lesser value than them. Okay? So when I have a problem with Donovan Sharpe's playing into hypergamy, what I mean by that is he is willfully, knowingly using his money and using his status and using his finances in order to keep a woman around. The irony in that and the hypocrisy in that is he's constantly talking about how female nature is hypergamous and he's talking about it in a negative light. That's the second thing I want to talk about, is his hypocrisy. He will say, he said today, I watched his video, I watched his live stream today, and he said, and I quote, when he was talking about the incident or the, you know, his rebuttal or response to Mrs. Joy, I forget her last name, Joy whatever, okay? In his rebuttal, he said, I'm the real deal. I'm not phony. Everything I say, I live. All this stuff about that, and I wanted to say, wait, hold up, Donovan. Pump the brakes. I don't agree with you. I don't think that you are totally transparent. I don't think that you are totally who you say, or how you act in real life is how you act on your show, Donovan Sharpe show, or whatever he calls his YouTube channel, right? His live stream, etc., right? I think he actually is kind of phony, because this is why. Because he will spend a lot of time downplaying negative female nature and behavior, which is fundamentally hypergamous. He'll spend a lot of time talking bad about women. He'll spend a lot of time, and he's got a lot of knowledge. Like I said, a lot of times I watch him and he's speaking exactly what I'm thinking. So in my opinion, at least, he's on par with the most advanced red pill guys as far as like, you know, obviously being red pilled is not a competition. What I mean by advanced is advanced in red pill knowledge, advanced in red pill experience. He's very experienced. He's very advanced in red pill knowledge. So everything he says, I agree with almost across the board. Besides this program and the things I'm talking about in this video, right? So he'll talk bad about female nature. He'll talk bad about women being gold diggers, etc., etc. But the problem with that is he's got one. He's got a gold digger. Do you think a woman who really loved a man in an equal way would stick around with a guy like Donovan Sharpe? No, I don't think so. I really don't. Because if the relationship was based on mutuality, if the relationship was based on being equal, and I don't even know if this kind of relationship can exist with women. It may, I'm sure it does, because, you know, we've got a wide world out there, but every time I've tried to keep a mutual frame, an equal frame with a girl, never worked. Why? Because women want leaders. Women want the man to man up and take the reins. And if not, if you've got a guy, a lot of times women are actually dating a guy who actually is kind of feminine. He's not taking the lead in the relationship. And they choose guys like that on purpose. They choose these beta guys because, in my opinion, I don't think that these women, from my viewpoint, from what I see, and from my assessment of their character, I don't believe these women are really in touch with their feminine side. And I don't believe that these women are really in touch with their true female nature. Now, and the reason why I say that is because, like, if a woman is actually doing something good, or she actually is dating a nice guy, like, to me, that's suspect. I look at that like it's suspect. I'm like, hold up. This girl's actually with a nice guy. This girl's actually treating guys fair. Something's wrong with that. And then it kind of is. Something is wrong with that. When you look at how they act around this guy, and when you look at their behavior and things like that, I don't think it's confusion. I think that there is, I mean, obviously it's not how they really are, because how women really are how most women act most of the time, and most women are fucking hypergamous, and most women like leaders who are masculine, who are breadwinners, who can take care of them financially and physically, who can provide and protect them. That's what women want, period. Do I agree with it? Not necessarily. I think that, hey, you know, we don't live in 1860s. We're not hunting, or, you know, we're not hunting bears and fighting off Indians. What the fuck do I need to protect you physically for? You know what I mean? Your life isn't in danger 90%, I'd say 98% of the time, even 99.9% of the time. Your life is not in danger in our society. So why the fuck would I need to physically protect you just in a rational way? Why would I need to do that? I wouldn't. What I really need to do is I would need to financially protect you, because economy and money is everything in our society today. Which is why there's so many gold diggers, which is why hypergamy wants a guy with money. So, when I see a woman who really is, it just is what it is. Women are turned on by physical guys. Women are turned on by guys who are physically strong. We just are, or they just are. Why? Because the guy can protect them. It's sexy. It's primal. It is what it is. So when I see a woman choosing a guy who's not very physically, you know, strong or something, you know, something's weird about that. Particularly a girl who's like really good looking, or like she could have a guy who's physically strong if she wanted to. Something's manipulative about that. My spider sense is going off. I'm like, wait a minute. You're willfully choosing this nice guy who's kind of weak, not very physical. Something's manipulative about that. I think you're doing it. I don't think you're doing it because you want an equal and you just really like the guy and you want an equal time with the guy. Woo, woo, woo. I don't think that's what it is. I think you're doing it out of manipulation. I think there's something you want to keep a weak guy around because it's some, you know, he's like the token nice guy. He's a good boyfriend, right? He's the token good boyfriend, and then you're cheating behind his back. That's what I think. Because I think women who do that, I think that they are either in denial about their true nature, they're sort of psychologically repressing their true nature, emotionally repressing it on purpose for whatever reason. Sometimes it's damage, sometimes it's part of a bigger plan, right? Or it's either that or it's you're doing it in a sneaky way and you know what you're doing and you're doing it so you can cheat behind the guy's back. Okay, so I don't trust all that, right? Why do I say I don't trust all that? Because, or excuse me, how does that relate to Donovan Sharpe with his girlfriend? Because Donovan Sharpe knows female nature. So what he's doing is he's exploiting the hypergamy. That's hypocrisy when you turn around and you are talking bad about hypergamy on your show. You're exploiting it. This is what guys have adapted and learned how to do. They said, oh, you know what? Fuck that. I know you want money, so I'm going to use my money to keep you around. I don't respect that. And like I said in my last video about Donovan, I think that's beta. I don't think that's alpha. And that's one of my biggest pet peeves. One of the biggest things that I talk out against is these guys who use hypergamy to their own benefit. And it's like, hey, if that's your angle, if that's what you're doing, if that's your plan, cool, but don't call it love. All right, and particularly with someone who is, you know, I'm transparent and this, that, and the third, which is what Donovan Sharpe said. I really live this life. Woo, woo, woo. Well, at least insofar as your girlfriend is concerned, you really don't live the life because you're playing into hypergamy, which is something you talk bad about, talk down against.